start? Let me start with Dennis at Intellectual Reads over the weekend. He used the phrase referring to another novel, but he said it felt to him like cleansing of the palate. And that's exactly what I feel like after reading Cari Mora. I read it in less than 2 days, and meta. I always think about meta, loving kindness. You never know. Could be going for Clarice. I'll start here. It's not a Hannibal Lecter novel. We have a new character, Hans Peter, aka Hans Peter Schneider. And he's just as gruesome, maybe more smarter. No.
Can anyone name a character smarter than Hannibal Lecter? Perhaps Sherlock Holmes?
But it was just good to read something that I enjoy and read it quickly, page turner, popular fiction that I didn't have to take notes on and secondary sources, you know what I mean. And I'm a big fan of Thomas Harris. I think Silence of the Lambs is a great American novel. It's like, I think The Firm, Grisham's second novel. They call it his first, but I think The Firm is a great American novel. I also reached out to BookTube friends and asked, how do you review a popular book without revealing spoilers? Shout out to Alex Blatt. And so, I'm going to talk about some early things. This novel, the end is in the beginning, applies here for sure. Now, I like popular fiction and crime fiction and page turners like Dan Brown. Every chapter keeps you going and going and going. Now, this is nothing new to fiction. Where does it come from? I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but James Patterson, the old stuff.
Now, I'm definitely not saying that James Patterson is the originator of the cliffhanger or the page turner.
So I can tell you that this novel takes place in Miami. All the good and bad about it. Biscayne Bay, yachts, money. The bad stuff, drugs, immigration, ICE. Takes place in a neighborhood and in the house that formerly used to be owned by Pablo Escobar. Now it's kind of a museum. It's filled with a lot of theater props, costumes, things like that. Now, Miami's the new, according to this book, the new porn capital, because California has some kind of law about using condoms and all that. I don't know, because California has some kind of law about using condoms and all that. I don't know.
Okay, lots of laughs. What I'm referring to, I don't know if that's a California law, but it is in the book that California has to use condoms on screen for pornography. So a lot of business is coming to Miami. Again, I don't know. I don't have the personal information about this. It's from the
I don't know where Thomas Harris gets his information from. The dark web, deep web. I know that there was a book out years ago called Whomever Fights Monsters, Jack Douglas. So he was a profiler for serial killers. But the information in here is just mind-boggling. I think I'm fascinated by it. the black market, organ, the selling of body parts, the networking involved in that. There's a new invention in here called the liquid, what's it called? The liquid crematorium, something like that. Liquid cremator. This guy, Hans Peter, environmentally friendly. It doesn't leave a footprint. There's no smoke. It all goes down the drain. Chapter 35 is told, for the most part, from the point of view of an alligator, after the alligator just chowed down on half a character. So it's told from that point of view. It's reminiscent of Faulkner in, I believe it's the Hamlet, where he has a chapter told from the point of view of a cow. Now I'll just leave that alone for now. But, I'm reading this book and I'm thinking to myself, it's all violence against women, isn't it? But then Harris always has a strong protagonist, if not the main character, one of the protagonists, who, rises above all odds and struggles to not only persevere, but, rise above and heroically. And also, there's not a lot of female serial killers out there. There's that one I can think of. They did a movie on her, a long time ago, but anyway. Some things didn't ring true to me. There's a prison thread, gang thread throughout this. Street smart things. He says, she'd agreed to tattoo balls and all in cursive on his neck after his jailhouse haircut grew out a little bit. His fingers were lettered love and hate. Manuela was written in tattoo ink made from match tip ink and an electric toothbrush on his palm. Now, you don't make tattoo ink out of matchsticks. There's no matches in prison. They're not available. No matches in prison. They're not available. They don't even have big lighters anymore.
Okay, friends, maybe TMI, but full disclosure here. I did some DOC state prison time in Arizona. Here's my record and my number. You can look it up online. And basically for drunk mouth. Very dumb behavior.
But it is true that gang members get the same tattoo for solidarity. And there's a character in here who has the tattoo on his foot. Now, the only joke I've ever heard about somebody getting a tattoo on their foot was to win bar bets. I bet you a drink I have your name tattooed on my foot. No, you don't. YLURNAME. And then the electric toothbrush. Maybe it used to be out of a Sony Walkman motor. The tattoo ink. It's fine line. Here, we'll zoom in on it. No one wants to see your ink. But I think that's been grandfathered out. It's all digital. They have kiosks and like MP3 plug-in players. So they might not have, but they do have, do they have electric toothbrushes? If you're a Thomas Harris fan, and he only writes books every 10 years, I think he wrote, it was 13 or more for this. You'll like this book. There's a lot of, violence and graphic detail. If you like, as I do, Cormac McCarthy, how about Patrica Cornwell and Katie Scarpetta, the forensic coroner office scenes. I like how Harris builds upon information in the beginning of the novel that you don't know where it's leading until, quite a ways in, midway or longer. And then it starts to make sense and come together. You get a little aha, epiphany moment. That's what I like. And again, it's unfair to compare this novel to Silence of the Lambs or any of the others that came after that. So there are people out there right now doing this in America, and then you think worldwide, and it just whoa, worldwide, and it just whoa, just whoa. Be safe out there, people. Be very. I don't even use earbuds, but when I'm walking, I hold the phone up to my ear, because I need to know what's going on around me. Horns or not. Hey, thanks, man. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.